Okay, boxers, we went over the instructions earlier. As a reminder, obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times, touch gloves. Good luck.
So this for the IBF middleweight title, a vacant title, and a belt that has passed through a few pairs of hands over the last 12, 18 months. Golovkin had it. He was then supposed to defend it against him, against Derevianchenko. Was stripped for not doing so. Derevianchenko then fought for it against Jacobs. Jacobs won it. He then put it on the line against Canelo. Canelo won it. Then Canelo gave it up rather than defend it against Derevianchenko. So we come full circle. Golovkin, I don't think I really need to say it, but he's in the white. Derevianchenko is in the gold and black. Just pecking with that left hand early on Derevianchenko.
Some nice feints from Derevianchenko early on, just to keep Golovkin guessing.
And this is the kind of distance, the kind of range that this fight will be at. They will both stand in range, on the borderline of range. This is very much how Derevianchenko likes to fight, not dissimilar to his compatriot Alexander Gvozdyk in that regard. Won't always look for massive shots, he just looks to chip away on the inside at times. Golovkin trying to put some meat behind that right hand.
It's important for Derevianchenko to put his stamp on this fight early. You don't want to allow Golovkin to build up any momentum.
Good jab from Golovkin.
Derevianchenko should be coming back and trying to answer these punches, not allow Golovkin to get away with them.
The right hand from Golovkin was cocked and ready to go there. First round of his previous world title fight, Derevianchenko found himself down right towards the end of the round. It was a flash knockdown in many ways, but it was a bad start nonetheless. And Golovkin just putting his hands together, and he's down in the first here as well. As we go into the final minute of the round.
This is not the kind of start that Derevianchenko wanted. This won't be good for his confidence. This is a nightmare first round for him.
There was a right hand high on the temple, which put him down. He was trying to tuck up and roll, and he got his head low, but in doing so, as we've seen with Golovkin before, he can punch down and land on top of the head.
Well, he's done it so many times. That left hand particularly landing almost right on the crown of the head has just taken all the equilibrium away from opponents on a number of occasions, and he's just got to get through to the bell here, Derevianchenko, without any further mishaps. Take a seat and try and regroup.
Yeah, I think it's important he fires back and answers Golovkin. Doesn't want to allow Golovkin too much momentum, doesn't want to get backed up too much in this fight.
He's responded well. He's responded well. He has answered with some punches.
Well, there goes the bell at the end of round one, and that'll be a 10-8 for Gennady Golovkin. Gesture he's making there. There's Wayne Rooney ringside. He loves his boxing. Wayne Rooney did a bit when he was a youngster. Derevianchenko looking for the jab.
Both of these guys have very similar styles. You know, they do a lot of similar things in terms of their jab, and they tuck up well. But the huge difference is the punching power here. And just if you look at the physical makeup of both men, Golovkin just looks thicker and more solid all round.
Yeah, Golovkin has good variety as well. He's very good at opening fighters up. I think with Canelo, the head movement and the speed, Golovkin found it difficult to put combinations together and really pin Canelo down. But someone who relies on defensive by bringing his hands up and tucking up, generally speaking, guys like that, Golovkin, because of his variety, is able to open you up.
has a very good jab, Golovkin, but he will mix it. He will jab, and then turn it into a hook off the jab, or he'll turn it to a hook to the body off the jab too. And you don't know whether to guard high or guard low with that right hand.
Derevyanchenko in the opening minute of the round looking to get up close and do some work to the body. To get through with 2 or 3 decent digs. Straight right hand there, caught mostly on the gloves by Golovkin. Just feinting with that front foot there, the Ukrainian, seeing if he can draw something.
It's the feints that are keeping Golovkin more, just making Golovkin just hesitant for a second. You know, it's good feints from Derevyanchenko.
Nice left hook there from Golovkin. Throws that left hook long.
It was just after Derevyanchenko landed a jab. And Golovkin just looking to close the gap here, just shuffling those feet forward, backing Derevyanchenko up to the ropes a touch. Derevyanchenko throws the right hand and then just spins off to his right.
Golovkin's fighting really well here. He knows that there's going to be some resistance and Derevyanchenko's going to go down fighting, but the way he sees it, or the way it looks to me, is that he's going to take what Derevyanchenko has, maybe on the chin or on the head or on the gloves, but he knows when he's landing his punches, they're having a devastating effect as compared to Derevyanchenko's.
Yeah, and he's hooking up the jab well here, and he's staying nice and patient. He's picking his shots. He's not wasting anything.
And there's a cut there, blood coming from the right eye of Derevyanchenko, and I wonder whether that was that left hand upstairs. It was an example of what Andy had mentioned, a jab and then a hook off the back of it. Just hooking off that jab, Golovkin, and I think that may well have been what did the damage, so there's a bit of work to be done in the corner there, and that's a bad cut by the look of it.
Yeah, like to see another glance at that, but that looks like a bad cut, and I think it definitely was that left hook off the jab. Like I say, Golovkin really economical, wasting nothing, good variety, setting everything up off the jab first, and then nice and patient when Derevyanchenko is coming back, and that's a nasty cut.
They're claiming a headbutt in the corner. We'll see what it's going to be ruled.
Well, we need to get some kind of signal from the referee, really. We've seen a few of these recently. Tyson Fury, of course, the most high-profile example, but it's underneath the eyebrow, almost on the eyelid. There's the left hand.
Seconds out. Here we go. That's pretty big, so you got to keep it.
Yeah, I think that was the left hook. It was a punch that caused that cut.
Stop.
Well, of course, if the fight gets stopped on a cut, and the cut you can see that it is final 10 seconds of round 4. That eye is a little bit of a mess, but the corner have done pretty well with it.
He's not disguising it at all.
Couple of good 1-2 straight down the middle there from Derevyanchenko as well.
It's leaving him open to these head attacks.
Left hand from Derevyanchenko. Golovkin looking for a right into the body there himself, but it just doesn't look like he's still shaking that body shot off. Maybe there's some lasting damage, because it is a problem for him, as you've been pointing out. You can see, because it is a problem for him, as you've been pointing out. You can see that it is final 10 seconds of round 4. That eye is a little bit of a mess, but the corner have done pretty well with it. But when you've finished with this, get a bit of sleep, and then...
And I also think, Andy, that it'll also put a rocket on the Derevyanchenko. You know, a bit busier than he might have been, and certainly focus on that body.
There was another good body shot that went in there.
is that the New York State Athletic Commission are of the opinion that it was caused by a clash of heads. Now that changes the scenario completely.
That he can hurt him to the body.
Stop! Stop his hit.
Harvey Doctor's having a word with Derevianchenko about pushing down on him. Please.
Okay, I need you to push forward. Start touching that left eye again like we're flying. Does that work? I'm cutting. Okay? Calm down. Relax.
You okay? Yeah. Okay. Seconds out!
And when he was hit by that left hand to the body, he was immediately looking just to give himself a little bit of room.
Seconds out!
And when he was hit by...
At 37 years of age, still got enough energy and enough hunger in the tank to, you know, come through adversity in a fight, because Derevianchenko is asking questions here.
And it'll be very easy for him to start feeling sorry for himself, especially with all he's achieved, all the money he's made, and him feeling that he's been robbed in 2 fights against Canelo. It'll be very easy for him in this position to feel sorry for himself.
Absolutely.
Well, the further news I'm getting from the officials' table at ringside as Golovkin finishes in ruled that the cut has been caused by an accidental clash of heads. So if the fight gets stopped at any point from here on in due to that cut, then we will go to the cards. Once you get past 4 completed rounds, you have a legitimate contest, so that's what will happen. It looked to us like it was caused by the left hand. It looked like the replay showed that too, but we only saw it once, so let's not get too carried away with that.
All I need is speed.
But let's hope it doesn't get stopped on the cut. That's the last thing that we want to see midway through this fight. It's fascinating.
You got this. You can fight while you're talking. You've been doing it all camp. That's why we do it in camp, so we can do it on fight night.
Seconds out!
Let's go, G. Let's get
Golovkin's definitely feeling the pace here.
Seconds out!
Really interesting advice from Banks in the corner, almost like crisis talks, not sound like they're winning the fight, like they're tired and that they're trying to drag him through this fight, Golovkin.
There's not a lot in this either way, and you know, Derevianchenko has hurt Golovkin to the body. I think Golovkin getting caught with shots here. Pace a little bit as well. You can see tucking his elbows in tight there. Does not like those body shots at all from Derevianchenko, and Derevianchenko badly cut but very fired up here, and the long way to go yet.
Just sticking out that left hand there, Derevianchenko looking to try and measure it for that right, big siding right hand from Golovkin, missed the target. Good jab there from Derevianchenko. Golovkin just closing that distance as he has done all his career. That front foot pressure that has always been so relentless, right to the body from Golovkin.
Yeah, and good movements and good feints from Derevianchenko as well, though. He's nice, he's jinky, he's constantly feinting. Nice uppercut there.
I think he's safer being at this range, being close, being small, being in the pocket with Golovkin, instead of being at that kind of range where he's at the end of the punches.
Into the final minutes of round 7.
Yeah, I think also being in the pocket, Andy, his physical presence, it's putting pressure on Golovkin. It's keeping the pace in the fight. And I think that this high tempo, this fast pace is suiting the fresher, younger man.
There was another body shot that went in there in that last exchange that hurt Golovkin again. Even if he goes on to win this fight, Golovkin, there's a clear sign of weakness there that other fighters going forward will try to exploit. Again with the body shot.
And it's good movement there from Derevianchenko too, because he landed that right hand, then he turned him centre ring, changed the angle, final few seconds of the 7th round, and through these 7 rounds as Golovkin lands a couple of good left hands on the inside there. Great finish to the round.
Both men trying to steal the round there.
Well, through these 7 rounds, how are you seeing this one, Matt?
Got Golovkin's nose slightly in front. Obviously, he had the 10-8 round in the first. Come back into it, but I mean, there's a lot of close rounds here, so it's a close fight. But psychologically now, this is the interesting part. You know, you can see he's breathing heavily there. He's been hurt to the body several times. The hand speed and the feints of Derevianchenko giving him problems as well. And, you know, this is not what we're used to seeing in Golovkin, but at 37 years of age, a lot of miles on the clock. I think he's struggling with the pace here.
Well, this is going to take huge willpower from him just to summon this up for 5 more rounds. I'm not sure I've ever really seen him look like this in the corner before.
Seconds out, seconds out. Time.
You just wonder the decision to, you know, change coaches at this late stage in his career, the bond you have with Abel Sanchez and the authority that Abel Sanchez had. I don't really see that in the corner right now.
Well, they're looking at the cut again here. The doctor's having a really good look at it, and he nods his head and says that he's okay to continue. And I've said this a couple of times now, but the last thing we want here is for this to be stopped on a cut. The word is that it has been ruled by the commission as having been caused by an accidental headbutt, so it would go to the cards. But it's just such a good watch, this. You don't want to be denied 1 second of it. There's that left to the body again there from Derevianchenko, but Golovkin managed to soak that one up.
Yeah, nice left hand work there from Golovkin, doubling up on the jab, throwing the nice left uppercut off it, but Derevianchenko, back he comes.
Keeps those hands busy. A shake of the head there from Golovkin. Derevianchenko will feel that he landed that left hand on the sweet spot again there, possibly.
It's not something I've seen before with Golovkin, that when fighters attack him, he looks just to cover up and to shy away from the exchanges. He's usually meeting you with punches and exchanging them at the same time as you.
Just seems wary of opening up, doesn't he, because of that success to the body that Derevianchenko has had. But in these types of rounds, the first half of this round so far has been Derevianchenko's. The blood just coming from that cut again, and
2 good shots to the body from Golovkin and followed with a left hook.
And the crowd, which is heavily pro Golovkin, encouraged by that good stiff jab from Golovkin as well.
Yeah, this is better from Golovkin. There's a good spell here from in the 8th round.
I haven't seen Golovkin be as authoritative with his jab as he has in the past, and he could make this fight a lot easier if he just stuck behind that good, solid, hard ramrod jab.
Threw it there and then went down. Well, Jonathan Banks in the Golovkin corner whilst you're away, just echoing something that Andy said in the previous round, telling his man that he wants him to get on the jab. That's what he wants from him more than anything else, that he can win this fight using that lead left hand.
I think the jab's key for Golovkin. Lovely uppercut there from Golovkin at the
Great
start
to the round. Derevianchenko, who looks to try and roar straight back into him. But it was a quality shot that from Golovkin.
The Golovkin jab was one of his signature punches, and what he usually do is get himself into almost a squat position and tuck his chin down so you're faced with the top of his head, and he would drive in with the jab. He's not been able to do that tonight. Maybe that's because Derevianchenko is just same size, if not shorter than him, and he just hasn't felt comfortable doing it, or maybe it's something that he's neglected since he's left Abel Sanchez.
Golovkin 3 points up on Matt Macklin's card at the moment. There was a 10-8 in the first round, remember. Since then there have been a lot of close rounds.
This is a good round for Golovkin so far.
Yeah, he's come out good here, come out well here in the start of the ninth.
That's a good response though there from Derevianchenko. Cuffed him with the right hand and is just pursuing him around the ring. Got through with an uppercut. Again, just busying those hands on the inside, and Golovkin didn't have too much of an answer to any of that.
And psychologically, Andy, you know, in this stage of a fight in the ninth round here, when he's already been hurt to the body and he comes out, he's had a good little phase there, Golovkin, and would have liked to have maybe felt that he's put a dent in Derevianchenko, but then Derevianchenko coming back, firing, showing still good head movement and plenty of fighting spirit, can be heartbreaking in this stage of a fight.
Well, you just look at the faces of the two, you look at the features there of Golovkin and also Derevianchenko, and this is a hard, tough dogfight, really. A lot of skill being shown in there too, of course, but this may well just come down over these last few rounds to who can just dig down that little bit deeper. Good jab, right hand from Golovkin, but Derevianchenko again just comes straight back.
Golovkin shows real signs of being tired and also being hurt at times, and only that will infuse Derevianchenko to go forward and to throw more shots, even if he's feeling tired himself. When an opponent shows you those signs, it just gives you more energy.
Yeah, I think Golovkin probably outlanding Derevianchenko in this round, but the body language is better from Derevianchenko.
And also, we've got to take into account, we're not used to seeing Golovkin like this. And so we're probably going with the underdog and giving him more credit than he's due. Because you've got Golovkin winning on the scorecard, and I probably agree with that. But we're just not used to seeing Golovkin like this.
Yeah, no, he's Derevianchenko's put on a good performance here. He's very much in the fight. He's hurt Golovkin to the body. I think Golovkin's looking tired.
But I think that's an excellent point that the two of you make there, because talking about the body language, you're right. At times in the fight, Derevianchenko has looked very positive. He's almost kind of looked like the boss in there, but in terms of punches landed and weight of shot, that's what you're looking for.
Your time, champ. Whose time is it?
Listen to the corners.
Whose time is it? Your time.
Who sounds like who's winning the fight? These guys are being encouraging, they're being positive, they're giving the fighter energy. In the Golovkin corner, it's almost like they're being apologetic to him, and trying to coax him through a fight. Come on, fight when you're tired. No, they should be getting they should be getting in his ass now and reminding him who he is and what he's done, and go out and put Derevianchenko in his place and let him know that you are the champion.
Well, that's been a bit of a theme, hasn't it? Jonathan Banks has been very laid back, very, very calm, maybe too calm, and as you say, trying to coax a performance out of him, whereas he's got to drag one out of himself, and to do that, maybe they do need to light a bit of a fire underneath him. It doesn't matter how experienced you are, how many things you have done, sometimes that is what it takes.
Like I say, Andy, seeing the shots there in the replay, we see Golovkin outlanding good jabs, hooking up the jab, landing good shots, nice left hook there, but the body language and who looks the happier of the two, that's Derevianchenko.
And he started the round well there, Golovkin, but Derevianchenko again just steps straight back on him, and he's really looking to put his hands together here. Good left upstairs and nothing coming back from Golovkin. Derevianchenko's got to try and keep this pressure on if he can, because Golovkin's backing up there. He looks for the left to the body again. This is a very good spell for the Ukrainian. Good right hand to the side of the head.
I mean, regardless of the scorecards here now, psychologically, Derevianchenko is in the driving seat. The body language, he looks the happier of the two. Golovkin getting caught more. Psychologically now, is his heart starting to break in this fight?
Looking to try and hook off the jab there, Golovkin, but he was accurate for that 30-40 second spell there, Derevianchenko. Golovkin trying to get on the jab, but again just kind of stoops over, doubles over a bit, catches another right from Derevianchenko to the side of the face.
Golovkin looking, he's 37 years of age here in the 10th round. A good combination from Derevianchenko, and 3 jabs all landing one after the other as he backs Golovkin up behind the jab.
It all came off the back of a jab right hand from Golovkin, which he kind of stood there and admired, and as soon as he had the opening there, Derevianchenko was straight in
This is a big round so far for Derevianchenko, and just when he needs one, you know, coming into these championship, well, as we're in these championship rounds now.
Just looking to try and chop down with that right hand, Golovkin, as Derevianchenko dipped low at the waist. Nice uppercut on the inside and then swings in the hook. Good variety from Derevianchenko throughout the course of this fight. Golovkin trying to get back on the jab.
Big left hook from Golovkin.
Derevianchenko has put an awful lot into this round in the closing stages here. Golovkin is having a bit of joy.
A lot of those punches, those last 3 punches landed around the ears. But Derevianchenko comes back with a great reply.
Well, here he comes again, just stepping in, letting that left hand go, and it did look as though maybe he was just beginning to run out of gas in this round a touch. Golovkin, I think, sensed that, maybe still does.
I think this has been a big round for Derevianchenko. Golovkin's had his moments, landed some good shots, but Derevianchenko winning the round for me.
Big right hand there from Golovkin, and I think Harvey Dock thought that the bell had gone. It hadn't, and stepped in 2-3 seconds too early there, just as Golovkin was lining up another right hand. They're keeping him on his feet between rounds, now just sliding the stool in, a little bit of damage above the right eye.
How are you feeling, sir? You guys okay? Yeah, he's all right.
Well, let's have a look at Matt's card. He's gone Derevianchenko's way with the 9th and the 10th, so 1 point margin heading into the last 2 rounds. Heads just bumping together there. Good solid right from the man in black and gold.
Seconds out! Seconds out! Seconds out! Here we go, seconds out, seconds out. Let's go, coach, let's go.
Well, we saw an amazing fight last week between Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter that was right in the balance going into the final 2 rounds, and Errol Spence managed to keep that technique together, keep that shape, and land a very telling blow that caused the knockdown. And in the end, from where we were sitting, really, that and a strong finish in the 12th was what won him the fight. And if one of these two can just find a little bit of magic in the remaining 6 minutes, allied with a whole lot of fortitude, then that could get them over the line.
It could well come down to these last 2 rounds, Andy. This has been a close fight. Derevianchenko must really bite down here and go for this.
Real effort there from Derevianchenko with those punches, trying to drive that left into the body. Golovkin has been just cuffed around a bit here. Short right hand from Derevianchenko. Golovkin, though, just managed to pivot slightly on that front foot and move away from danger.
Those little flurries where he goes to the body and switches up to the head, and good little burst from Derevianchenko.
I got you.
Just looking for a bit of body work there, Golovkin, midway through round 11.
It's been a good round for Golovkin, quite measured, even though Derevianchenko's had his moments. Golovkin's boxing well. I'm just surprised by the lack of defense from Golovkin. He just chooses to stand there and kind of tuck up and gives Derevianchenko chances to score on him.
Yeah, this is better from Golovkin. Nice double jab, right hook there.
Right, step back, good.
He landed a right hand early in the round, and I know it might not have seemed so apparent, I think it hurt Derevianchenko.
Decent hook there from Golovkin.
Yeah, 2 good left hooks there from Golovkin.
Maybe Derevianchenko is really feeling the pace here himself. He's looking just a touch more ragged than he has done, just falling in behind his shots every now and again. It's been a grueler all the way through.
The last 2 rounds, although he's had some success, Derevianchenko, he's gotten away from the body. He needs to go back down there now, punctuate these last 2 rounds with some good body shots.
Had a little bit of success there, though, with that burst to the head. Golovkin, gloves up, head bowed slightly, looks to try and throw the jab.
Nice right hook there, partially blocked from Derevianchenko.
The right hand landed from Derevianchenko at the same time as the left hand landed from Golovkin. Bell goes, and they both look a little bit weary as they make their way back to their corners, and every reason that they should. 3 minutes to go. And this has been such a tough fight. It's written all over their faces.
You got one more round in, you got
Last round, guys. Touch up.
I need you to put everything you have into this round. Everything.
Last round, we're going to touch up.
Well, Jonathan Banks telling him to put everything that he's got into this last round, so they obviously feel in the corner that it's close. That's certainly how we feel. It's a close fight.
You want to be champ, this is it.
Yeah, they know it must be close, Andy. There can't be a lot in him. I got Golovkin a couple of rounds up, but it could be a couple of rounds the other way. It's a close fight.
That Derevianchenko corner, as you pointed out, Andy, a couple of rounds ago, in between rounds, they're giving him a real G-up with Golovkin. It's, I don't know, it's just so pedestrian, the tone of the advice in there. But Golovkin comes out strong at the start of the round. Both of them will just put everything they've got into this last 3 minutes, pour it all out.
They can see the finish line now, so I don't think they'll hold anything back. Both of them feel they need to win this last round. Even if they feel they're ahead, they still want to win this last round.
Yeah, I don't think either man could be really confident that they're ahead. It's been a close fight.
Solid left hand there from Golovkin. As Derevianchenko was on his way in, the Ukrainian looks to try and work that body, just puts the shoulder in.
Good.
Leading off with a left hook there, Golovkin, and then just moved on to the shoulder. Bit messy in the opening minute of the final round.
I mean, when you think of the knockdown in the first round, and obviously the cut as well, it was a bad start for Derevianchenko, but he's really fought his way back into this fight.
Let him go, break.
Again, nice right hands to body there.
It's that stabbing shot. Golovkin just cramped for room there as he tries to let his right hand go. Derevianchenko just moved in slightly.
Good shots from Golovkin.
Missed with a big swinging right hand right at the end of that combination. But the momentum just took him past Derevianchenko and out of danger.
We're coming up to the last minute now of the final round, and have Golovkin winning this round so far. Unless Derevianchenko can turn it around now with a final last minute.
Good right hand there from Golovkin, but Derevianchenko still has enough about him just to turn him off the road.
Sergio, did Derevianchenko do enough? Did he take enough rounds to offset that 10-8 first round?
It's going to be tough for the judges, but I think Derevianchenko, once that third round, he started twisting.